Hey guys, what's happening? Welcome back to the Hardcore Fab channel. In today's video, I got something a little different for you guys. I'm over here still working on the roof of the new shop, and I had people asking me some questions on what I was doing with the roof up here, what I finally ended up deciding to do, and I figured I would make a video because I put a lot of research into this before I made the decision to do this, and I'm hoping that if I make a video about it, it'll be helpful for somebody else in the future. And it's probably not going to be for everybody because definitely everybody's not going to be doing this, but if it's helpful for somebody, I feel like it'd probably be worth it to make. So that's what this video is going to be about, is what we're doing with the roof over here. And while I'm down here in the office with all this echo area, thought I'd show you guys our new glass in the front there. Looks like there's not even one there because that's that new. And then we got these two big giant windows in over here on this side. So that's pretty awesome. There again, it looks like there's no glass in it hardly at all, but completely changes the whole entire feel of this office area up here in front. So pretty excited about that. Now up on the roof, we've got concrete on the roof. We talked about that before, and I decided to put some silicone up there is what I ended up deciding to do. This is a product called Seal Best, I guess is the name of it, and it's a white silicone roof coating. You can actually put this over a bunch of different types of roofs. Don't have to be concrete just like mine. You can see in the picture here, they're doing that on tin. It also reads that there's a whole list of other stuff, even asphalt roofing and things like that. So you guys can look it up and see if it fits your application, but that's what we've got today. And now I've got to start toting those buckets up the stairs. So all right, so this is what we started out with here is this Rust-Oleum. It's also 100% silicone, just like the stuff that's down here in these other buckets. But they had this all at Menards, and they were discontinuing this stuff, so I got a really good deal on this. And it's 100% silicone, so it's got to be about basically what's in that, I would think. What could be different, really, all that much? So, yeah, this is what it is. You guys can look that up for yourself and see if you can find it anywhere. Before they discounted this for closeout, they were both the same price, that and the other stuff. So I don't think there's much difference there in price for you guys, but like I said, I got a smoking deal on that one, so that's why I went with it. I also picked up some of this stuff because it was also at Menards on clearance, and it's a white silicone roof patch. It's basically the same stuff that's in these buckets down below, but just a little bit thicker that you can actually trowel on. And we got all these cracks up here. You can kind of see where we put it on at. And what we did to prep this is we actually took a grinder along the cracks and we actually just cut and ground out the cracks to where they would be a little bit bigger and wider so that we could trowel that stuff in. You'll also notice up here that we've got some concrete patch going on in different spots. So this one here on this crack right here was the first one I did before I really put a lot of research into this, after getting some of the garbage up here that was on here off and just trying to seal out some of the rain that was coming in. I put this on there, and it's like for basements and things like that, for when your basement walls crack. So I thought that might be sufficient for where we were at with this situation, but I decided the silicone was actually going to end up being a lot better scenario. So that's what I went with on almost everything else that was up here. Now the stuff that was in the small bucket, any little spots where there was any crack or a base that was, had a little bit of a gap, we put some of that stuff in around stuff like this chimney. Other thing that you'll notice up here is some of the self-leveling concrete that I've got in around here. For some reason, the concrete was really porous up in this area and really porous up along this area along here too. You can still see some of it here, which is still pretty porous, but that up there was actually worse. So I got some concrete and just kind of filled that in to help kind of smooth all that out, just for the simple fact that I'm thinking that that'll make it a little bit easier for this stuff to flow out. So you guys can see behind me the area that we did last weekend, which was over the area where the shop is, the main shop area over here in the new building. I apologize for the wind. I'm 25 foot in the air and it's Kansas, so it is what it is. But Anyways, yeah, the roof over here I believe is done. I have very, very high hopes for it. I think that it's going to work out quite well. This stuff, even when you get it on something that wasn't even really prepped or anything, it's like this little pipe right here. I got some on this, just I don't know, it ended up dripping on there for some reason, and you can't even get it off. It's stuck on there pretty good. And if you do get it off, you actually have to pull it and rip it apart to be able to get it off. It's basically, for all the car guys out there, just like it is if you put it on your water pump or your intake on your car or something like that, you know, wherever you need to put silicone on some stuff. It's has that same, you know, consistency and everything. I think it's probably close to about the same kind of stuff, other than this probably has some kind of a UV type thing in it or something, I don't know, to make it last longer out here. At least I hope it does. I don't know. I'm not really talking based on knowledge on any of that. I'm just kind of pulling that out my ass, so take that for whatever it's worth, but that's kind of my take on it, at least from that over there. So what I have found out, and what I do know is going to be very important if you guys want to put some of this stuff on one of your roofs, is to make sure that you spend a lot of time prepping the area that you're working on. I've got quite a bit of time up here. I've removed any and all, you know, the extra trash and everything that was up here. We've removed any rolled roofing and stuff that was up here from before in the areas that we're planning on coating. And I've probably swept this like 5 times, and I've taken a leaf blower to it probably about that same amount of times. And since it's sit overnight and I'm ready to actually start putting some coating on today, I'm going to take and blow it all off again. Well, I got it blown off as best I can. I guarantee you there's going to be some trash that blows up in here on top of this. As long as I get it to blow on the top of it instead of underneath, where it doesn't allow it to stick to something solid on the roof, I think I'm going to be okay. And I can't do anything other than just hope for the best at this point, because we've got some colder temperatures coming up, and there is a little bit of a temperature variant on this when you can apply it. So today is the day that I feel like I can do it. And it's already got some of the other silicone down on the cracks and everything, so I kind of have to anyways. There's also like a 24-hour window on this deal as well. So since I put that stuff on there, actually Connor did that last night. Since he put that on there, then that pretty well sealed the deal that I was doing it today regardless. Let me show you how I'm applying this. They actually recommend that you apply it with a sprayer or a roller. I'm sure, 100% sure, especially after doing all that big giant area over there, that a sprayer is the best way to go. But you can't use like your regular like little Wagner house sprayer thing, you know. You've got to have actually a pretty good sprayer, because this stuff is pretty thick. So I don't have a sprayer that I can do that with, and I didn't really want to go just buy one for this, so I'm rolling it. So it ends up being a lot more labor, and probably takes way longer, I'm sure, to do it this way, but that's the way I'm going to do it. So there again, all I can really do here on this deal is tell you guys the way I'm doing things and give you a little bit of insight that I have on it. I'm just a guy with a budget and a really big giant project that I'm working on, and a very small budget compared to the project. So I'm trying to be as most efficient with my money as I can, and that's what I'm doing on this project. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be in the same boat with your projects as well. Julie finished up that little strip that she's working on there so I can make another pass down through here. I figured I'd show you guys a little bit closer view of what it is that we're trying to cover up with today's coat on here. We got a pretty good coat on there yesterday, but this roof is so porous up here on this concrete that it has some stuff that's still just kind of coming through, and there's a few little pockets here and there that the silicone didn't kind of go down in. So let me flip this around. I'll show you guys what that looks like at a closer view, and if this wind is too much, I'll do a voiceover on that part. Well, I figured before we close out this video, I should wait until at least we have a rainstorm so I can see, and you guys can see, whether or not this stuff actually works or not. You can kind of see back there on the road, we just had a pretty decent shower go through, so I'll open the building up here and we will go see if it's dry. I really hope it is. Let me flip this around so you guys can see what I can see. All right, so right off the bat, inside here we are good. There was enough rain coming through here before that we actually had water running down these stairs at times. It's pretty close to dark out here. Let me see if I can turn my light on. All right, so I got upstairs in the man cave area, and this is looking pretty dry. This is good here. Let's see. We don't have anything up here going on. Is that wet? I don't think that was rain. Yeah, the roof is dry. So, sweet, we're golden here. Let's go out here in the shop and see what it looks like out here. That is a good sign. You guys don't know how happy that makes me. We did have a lot of water coming in around there. Don't see much coming through there yet. That's all looks pretty dry. Is that wet? No, it's all dry. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. We can go down here. We can actually turn some lights on. See what we got. Come down here to this little bitch. Okay, the moment of truth. This had water just literally running through the roof, nonstop, anytime it rained. And it is looking pretty darn dry in here. That is awesome. If you guys look up here at the roof, all of those white spots all over everywhere was an active leak. Every time it rained, stuff would come through the ceiling and this whole entire area would get drenched. So we are looking really, really good in here. This one corner over here, I didn't put any stuff on it because there's actually one hole in the concrete. So we do have some water coming in here. And that was to be expected. You guys look up there in that corner, you can see where there's a piece of concrete missing. It's just got a piece of tin kind of glued over the top of that hole. So it's not actually even leaking from around the hole, it's leaking beside the hole, so that's kind of interesting. But I want to fix that little piece of concrete there. I want to get some more concrete put in there and then put the last little bit of patch stuff or coating stuff that we've got to put over that. So that's pretty freaking awesome. I'm excited that it's not really leaking in here at all. So that is just way, way too cool. Even this other corner over here, this one was leaking probably the worst of any of them. And you can actually see where some of the self-leveling concrete, like right there, and also some of the roof sealer that I had put up there was actually running down the wall. It was leaking so bad there. So this is freaking cool. I can't believe that it's finally dry in here. I've been sitting here watching it rain in here every time it rains for so long now. I didn't think it was ever going to happen, but we're dry. I'm happy. the stuff is working pretty good, so take all that for what it's worth. Like I said in the beginning, hopefully this helps someone else out. I know I had to do a lot of research to be able to find this stuff, and I know that there's better ways to apply it and things like that, but what I did is working. So best I can do now is to maybe come back in a year or so and just do maybe a highlight video or something of this in 2023 about this time of year, maybe next year, and let you guys know if it's still working or not. But so far, so good. I guess with that, that's all I got for you guys on today's video. See you guys next time. Later.